Tonight, the inflation crisis, interest rates on the rise again. We have new reporting tonight on how it's impacting parents and teachers as school gets ready to start. Plus, the new police policy aimed to help crack cold cases, the new message to criminals in a local Central Coast city. And the monsoon moisture. Our chief meteorologist is tracking the unstable weather to our east. Also tracking wildfires tonight. The latest numbers on the Oak Fire. KION News Channel 46 starts now.
Covering the Central Coast, this is KION News Channel 46 at 5 o'clock.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with a live look of our nation's capital. Another historic interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve today, this time by 3/4 of a percentage point. Good evening, and thank you for being here tonight for KION News at 5. Analysts say the move by the Federal Reserve is an attempt to cool inflation amid fears of a recession. This as many of us are pinching pennies and clipping coupons. However, President Biden does not see the glass half empty. His administration is standing by strong numbers in jobs and manufacturing. Right now, prices at the pump are falling around the country. The national average is down nearly 60 cents compared to last month's price. That's according to Gas Buddy. But the average cost for everyday items, that is climbing. Now, the impacts of inflation on our families here on the Central Coast. Some students getting ready to go back into the classroom. That's next week. And parents are heading to those stores amid rising cost and prices. KION's Anna Torrea live for us in Salinas tonight after talking to those parents who are going to back to school shopping. Those stores busy, Anna?
Hey Veronica, this Office Max here behind me, I've seen several people coming here to go school supply shopping. Families making sure their kids have notebooks and pens like this one so that they're prepared for the new school year, and those supplies are expensive. Mercedes Zertucci came here to Office Max with her granddaughter. She's making sure she's going to be ready for the 8th grade. Zertucci tells me she's noticed that prices are higher, but it's not a surprise. Zertucci also says her granddaughter will be reusing some school supplies, which can help cut some of the costs.
There was a lot of supplies that we had left over from last year that we kind of went through and did a grocery shopping list today, so we knew what we already had at home. It helps offset some of the expensive costs, and it kind of leaves some of the supplies there for some other people who may have like last minute needs and not be able to get to them because the shelf will be empty.
Data from the National Retail Federation shows families are expected to spend about $864 on average on back-to-school supplies, with total spending expected to be about $37 billion. And the top categories people will be buying in: electronics, clothes, and shoes. And a survey by the National Retail Federation showed that about 84% of people expect costs to be more expensive in clothes. Reporting live in Salinas, Anna Torrea, KION News Channel 46.
All right, families looking for ways to save. Thank you, Anna. Well, last year, the National Retail Federation reported that families spent $849 for school supplies. To our fire watch tonight, firefighters continue to battle California's largest wildfire of the year. Authorities say the extreme dry conditions are making it more difficult for crews to contain those flames. The Oak Fire is 32% contained after burning nearly 19,000 acres. Firefighters hope it will be fully contained by August 6th. And in some parts of the country, widespread and dangerous flooding. You're looking at video from Colorado and Kentucky. The National Weather Service says floods and severe thunderstorms warnings are predicted through the end of the week for those areas. And what about here at home? Taking a first look at your weather now, Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca joining us now. Dan.
Hey there, Veronica. We've got a really interesting pattern set up where we really have a strong pump, which is acting, or a strong monsoon. And then look at the 7-day forecast and see how long this monsoonal moisture is going to last. That's coming up.
Sounds good, Dan. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, the Seaside Police Department is now sending a message to murderers. We will never quit. After partnering with the Monterey County Cold Case Task Force, the police department has gained some momentum through the additional support and funding. A new policy is being implemented now surrounding cold case investigations, making them a priority and requiring the division supervisor to carry out an audit every 3 years. This way, a case gets reviewed with a fresh set of eyes eyes, even if there's not a new lead. And if there is DNA evidence, the department will examine if it needs to be retested with more advanced technology. Tonight we hear from the chief of police.
Once you look at a cold case and you start to investigate and you're digging up things where in many cases I wasn't even born when some of these things happened, or I was very young when these things were occurring. But to know that you are going back and you are bringing justice to these families, there is no better feeling, there's no greater reward in public safety in the police force for me and many others that look at these cases than solving a case, finding the truth, and sharing with their loved ones the answers. This is who did it.
Well, at the moment, there are about 20 unsolved homicides in the city of Seaside. Those that really stand out, I'm told, are victims who were innocent bystanders at a time when there was a racial gang problem in the city of Seaside. Well, over in Gilroy, police are looking for other potential victims after 4 people are arrested in connection to multiple stabbings. Police say Alexander Alaya Jr., Jason Moreno, Irene Wooford, and Angel Solorzano are linked to 2 stabbings that happened last week. The 2 victims are expected to survive. Officers believe Moreno and Wooford are linked to other violent crimes within the city. In Salinas now, police are on the hunt for a group of thieves after they say a group of people stole lots of merchandise from a sunglass hunt and got away. Well, the first incident happened in Gilroy, the other in Salinas at Northridge Mall. Officers say 2 men and 2 women walked into the kiosk inside the Macy's, loaded their bags with sunglasses, and then ran off. A security guard said they tried to stop one of the suspects, but they got away. They're believed to have stolen thousands of dollars worth of glasses. Major gun manufacturers are under fire tonight after a House committee grilled its CEO on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers say they made more than $1 billion in revenue over the past decade. That's by selling the types of military-style assault weapons used in many deadly mass shootings in the U.S. However, some believe gun makers are not the culprits here. Deborah Alfarone reports tonight.
I saw the shooter emerge above a second-floor roofline and point his long gun at my family and those around us and rapidly fire.
Heart-wrenching stories of gun violence were followed by tough questions as firearm manufacturers took the hot seat on Capitol Hill.
What are you going to do?
It's okay.
To make sure that your products don't get into the hands of a white supremacist mass shooter.
Executives from Sturm, Ruger & Company, and Daniel Defense condemned recent gun massacres.
Like all Americans, I grieve, when we read about these tragic incidences.
But they refused the Democrats' calls to take responsibility.
These acts are committed by murderers. The murderers are responsible.
You market weapons of war to civilians and children. You make millions by selling them, but when someone pulls the trigger, you refuse to accept responsibility.
As expected, partisan passions flared at Wednesday's hearing, with Republicans accusing Democrats of going after the Second Amendment.
It's insane what you're pushing. It's not going to end well. When those gunfights happen, that blood will be on your hands.
We will not be threatened with violence and bloodshed because we want reasonable gun control.
The House Democrats are currently working on a package that includes an assault weapons ban, provisions to remove civil case immunity for gun makers, and funding for police. That legislation could come up for a vote next month. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, people who oppose the bill say they doubt whether gun makers could have prevented any tragedies. They are also concerned about how a ban can affect Second Amendment rights. A grand jury has indicted the man accused in the deadly July 4th parade shootings in Illinois. Robert Cremo III is facing 117 counts. This includes 21 counts of first-degree murder, 48 counts of attempted murder, and 48 counts of aggravated battery with a gun. The 21-year-old is accused of climbing onto a rooftop of a nearby business and opening fire on an Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois. 7 people were killed. Tap water in California is unsafe to drink, and the state is not acting fast to clean it up. That's according to a state audit released Tuesday. The acting state auditor says most of the systems are located in the Central Valley and inland areas of Southern California, specifically in low-income communities. The audit claims that the water contains high levels of nitrate, arsenic, and other dangerous chemicals, but the State Water Board argues the report doesn't tell the entire story.
We just don't think they got the framing right. We have 40% fewer people are exposed to unsafe drinking water. So that's 650,000 more Californians have access to safe drinking water.
He goes on to say that the board does have more work to do, but is making progress. The agency reports an 80% increase in funding to address that issue. The auditor says the money is not being made available fast enough. The FDA is clearing the way for hundreds of thousands of monkeypox vaccines. The agency says the doses will be supplied by a plant in Denmark. More than 3,500 cases of monkeypox have been diagnosed already in the U.S. An infectious disease expert says the outbreak seems to have been fueled by 3 mass gatherings in Europe. Well, a trucking company fined millions of dollars for waste violations still ahead, why it's being accused of hazardous waste around the country, including in the city of Salinas. Plus, you still have a chance to win millions of dollars tonight. How much the Mega Millions jackpot has now grown in one day. And right now, taking a live look from our Mount Toro camera, nice and sunny in Salinas. We'll have your full forecast when we come back in 2 minutes. Stay right here on KION News at 5. All right. Returning with a full look at your weather forecast, Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. I woke up with a smile on my face because I feel like for the past few days, we haven't had much sunshine on the peninsula.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to say, I'm going to be in a trucking company with one location in Salinas will now pay more than $1 million in waste violations. That's according to the Monterey County District's office. The DA's office says Old Dominion Freight Line has violated hazardous waste laws. This includes the improper disposal of batteries, paint materials, cleaning agents, and other flammable or toxic materials. The DA says it poses a serious risk to the environment. ODFL faces $1.36 million in penalties, costs, and projects. The closest location is near the Salinas Municipal Airport. Well, President Joe Biden is back to work tonight after testing negative for coronavirus twice so far. It's been almost a week since the president has tested positive. Doctors say he had the highly transmissible BA.5 Omicron subvariant. They immediately began treating him with the antiviral Paxlovid to make his mark back to the White House and the outside world. He spoke about COVID-19 this morning. Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back. There's a new millionaire in San Bernardino County. One lucky winner scored $2.9 million in the state's lottery. The ticket was sold at Country Store in Baker. They fell just one number short of winning the Mega Millions jackpot. Now that means that you could still win the Mega Millions jackpot tonight, and the prize is even bigger at more than $1 billion. Dan Lieberman explains why the next winner could go down in history.
The Mega Millions jackpot is still up for grabs. That means Friday's top prize currently stands at $1.02 billion. If there's a winner and they take the cash option, that's $602 million before taxes. With inflation on nearly everyone's mind these days, the frenzy over that jackpot has been growing this week.
Even $1,000 would help. True. With gas prices, just saying.
Tuesday's prize would have been the nation's 4th largest lottery prize of all time. Some driving across state lines from Alabama to Tennessee for their chance.
When it gets big, I come up here. You got to do what you got to do. You can't win if you don't play.
29, that's followed by 63.
But as the numbers rolled in, a Mega Millions spokesperson said its website was seeing, quote, unprecedented traffic, with many getting error messages. The site saw around 62 million requests within a 24-hour period. So is there any way to up those 1 in 302 million chances of winning on Friday?
The best tip I can give folks is play together in groups. So you think about the office pool, pull your tickets together. Each ticket you buy gives you an extra chance to win.
Mega Millions has now gone 29 consecutive draws without a jackpot winner. Dan Lieberman, CBS News, New York.
All right, the biggest ever lottery payday was $1.58 billion Powerball jackpot. That was in 2016. I'm going to be going around the newsroom here and collecting money for tickets. Well, still ahead, the pet parade in Pacific Grove, it's coming back. We give you details after this break. Welcome back. Well, Pacific Grove's Pet Parade making a comeback this year. It's on Friday, so get ready for fun and smiles out there. Pets dressed up in costumes. Kids will too. Council members voting for its return recently, and this year it's sponsored by the Pacific Grove Youth Ambassadors. They're adorable. The parade starts at 2. Participants should be there by 1:30. Well, mission accomplished in Gilroy. Actor William Shatner is thanking the community of Gilroy after he apparently dropped his wallet while he was at a fruit stand there. And in a tweet, he thanks B&T Farms for returning his lost wallet, getting it back to him. Good people in Gilroy.
You'd think William Shatner could just have his wallet beamed back to him, but apparently not.
Well,
so that's Veronica saying, I do not get Star Trek jokes.
I don't. Thanks for calling me out, though, on TV.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're here for, right?
We are. Thanks, friend.
How about a final look at weather tonight? Here's a live look from Carmel. Still seeing a little sunshine poking through. And tonight, it'll be just a touch warmer than last night. Partly cloudy skies to start off with. Your sunset at 8:17 p.m. Those low clouds will thicken up late tonight. Beam me up, Scotty.
Thanks for joining us tonight here on KION News at 5. Join us for KION News at 6.
We'll see you then.